Hey, good morning. This is our VIP pre-market prep. Our VIP members have access to this video pre-market and throughout the day before it's published on YouTube at the end of the day. If you'd like to get access to this pre-market prep, you can hop over to StoryTrading.com and upgrade to VIP membership. So, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm running a couple minutes late because all morning we were collaborating on a room about this Twitter offer by Elon Musk. So you know what? We'll get into that in just a second first because I want to cover the macro. We'll just look at QQQ real quick. And I want to point out that yesterday there was a comment by a Fed speaker that the peak of inflation may be in. And I think that could be the excuse. That could be enough to be a catalyst for the next bear market rally. As you saw here, I think this move from 320 to 370 was a bear market rally. And maybe we'll get another bear market rally from here. I hope, right? And listen, if the ultimate bottom is in, that's great. Just having this perspective that this may be a bear market rally will discipline me to sell at major resistance levels. So I'm hoping we get that. Although longer term, I'm still very bearish on the mega caps. I think the risk assets have sold off enough for a lot. Micro caps have sold off enough for a lot. Biotechs as well. But I'm worried of if there's recession impact coming into stocks like Apple, what that will do to the QQQ and the SPY. So, yep, that's still my perspective longer term. I'm hoping this is a bear market rally because I'm not actually positioned for downside from here. If there's anything else we want to cover on the macro, because I know wheat was doing awesome. Let's take a quick look at this. So, see if anything stands out. Not much. Everything is basically a little bit modestly down, not too much. We see uranium about flat. Man, uranium's been on fire. DNN is up this morning as well. We'll look at that. Wheat has been pretty good. So the ag stocks continue to do great. Deer, as you can see, up this morning. So nothing standing out big over here. I did notice some money moving out of Moss and IPI Potash. I mean, they've run so much, and I think money is possibly moving back into regular stocks for a bear market rally. So, all right, let's go back to our stock list and talk about Twitter. Twitter, as you know, Elon Musk made an offer to buy Twitter, take it private at $54 a share. Quite immediately in our room, we had basically a thesis that, hey, this risk reward is not so great at $51, right? Because Elon is saying if it's his final offer and if it's not accepted, he's going to sell his shares. And hey, he started buying shares here in like the 30s. So what's the downside? The upside is like 54, and the downside could be back, in the mid 30s if he ultimately sells, if the offer is accepted. So this like 51 price that we had this morning seemed pretty high. So I'm not surprised that it went down. I am surprised it went down in pre-market. I thought we'd see that more throughout the day, starting a little bit higher and going down throughout the day. So that's still my bias. Actually, I own Twitter. I wouldn't mind if it opened closer to 50, 51 from people who are looking at the headlines, the masses who are looking at that and say, ooh, $54 buyout. But I think there's substantial risk that this offer will not be accepted. Don't want to get into the political reasons of why I believe that or why some people in our community believe that, but I think there's a good chance this offer won't be accepted. Although there's other opinions out there. There's an opinion by Baird that it will ultimately be accepted after a long period. I've seen other opinions that say Musk will try to get his own board elected. So it could take a while, but ultimately we'll go through. So lots of opinions out there. But if the upside is 54 and the downside is 35, you can figure for yourself where this is should be fair value today. And one of the things I'll be looking at is maybe selling call options against my stake. As I said, I am long. I imagine the implied volatility on this is going to be huge. And who knows, maybe you could pick up an awesome amount of premium, even on a call expiring today, and then rinse and repeat, do it again for next week. So that's something I may have in mind with Twitter. I'll be looking at those premiums on the call options this morning. So going through our list, there's another big news, Vidler Water, which was a pick. Unfortunately, it looks like, For those of you who got in above this price after our presentation with Mark Gomes, looks like they've agreed to sell for 15.75 a share, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm wondering why they're still a bid at 15.75 in the pre-market if that's all you're going to get. I wonder if there's something here. I wonder if some shareholders think that there's a way to get this rejected or a higher offer. I wonder. I don't know. Could there be a dividend left over somewhere in here that you'll get in addition to 15.75? Because it doesn't make sense that someone would be paying 15.75 for a 15.75 close. You'd think it'd be trading more like 15.50 to 15.60, which is usually what happens. And it'll slowly move up to the close date because it'll take some time for this close. So something may be up here a little bit. In fact, you see someone now bidding 5,000 shares at 15.76. So who knows? Maybe there's some sort of revolt that someone wants to try to do here. I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they want to sell call options against shares they're buying at 15.76. So we have to find out what's going on with Vidler Water. Now, I forgot to mention, in conjunction with Twitter, obviously you see a DWAC down 4% or so, but it's been bouncing off the bottom. I would never advise investing in DWAC, but as far as a sentiment, a gauge maybe for CFVI, or hey, if you're a risk taker, a gambler, listen, I think if you want to think 2 steps ahead, and if you think this deal's not going through with Twitter, it's going to breathe new life into DWAC and speculation into where Elon Musk will invest into next. And as always, I play CFVI instead of DWAC. And actually, CFVI did not have any negative impact this morning on the news. So take a look at those. SEAC, man, merger R play that I'm hoping to get $2 a share out of it, but a little bit up on just a spate of Triller press releases recently. They had one yesterday morning, one after the close yesterday on just developments happening at Triller. They had one last week. Reason for why it spiked up last night and this morning. It's given some of it back. And I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to the next step. Hopefully, we'll get SEC approval on the merger. That's the story of SEAC. I would never chase this. I've been taking opportunities when this pops. Like last week, I sold some at 135. The only way I'd chase or add more if it goes up, if there's an SEC filing that's basically approving the merger deal and scheduling a vote, SEC approval and scheduling a vote, and the thing is underreacting, like it didn't move fast enough, and something like that. I may jump into something like that. But on the Triller news, 130s, 140s, I'm a seller if it gets there. All right. Kodak's been a major disappointment for me. Listen, some Rex thinks this is holding support great. He's very bullish. He bought yesterday. He thinks support is at 6. I thought support was at 620, 618 at that 200 DMA, which at the time was also the 20 DMA, and it was also the price where a lot of insiders bought. So I'm very disappointed to see it breaking that triple support level. I hope Rex is right. I hope 6 holds, but the way I traditionally look at technicals, I'm a huge believer of the major moving averages, and I have to concede, in my opinion, there's a chance it could correct here to the 50 DMA. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not doing anything with it. I love our thesis. I'm just holding. Definitely not going to add more risk here at 609. I already have enough of that. SMSI, what a beautiful chart, man. Look at the 5-day. This is a huge W pattern over here. Actually, I can't draw on it, but you can see that W. It really outperformance yesterday, which was rare to see on this name. So someone may be taking a big position in this. And it closed over the 50 DMA yesterday. Hey, I do have some call options. I got myself into trouble with call options the last few weeks, so I'm going to put an end to it. But I do have some call options that expire today, $4 strike. So I wouldn't mind if this continues. And hey, if I can get a nickel out of it, at least that'll be good. So that's SMSI. DRIO had news this morning. Plus, I spoke to the CEO a couple days ago, had some updates. Plus, hopefully, he's going to be speaking to our Zoom community. But DRIO has another agreement with the health plan, Colorado Access. I had a conversation with Erez, the CEO, yesterday. Basically, I initiated the conversation through text messages at some point. I'm like, dude, I implore you, plan ahead. Do not do any, who knows, this market may be bad for a couple years. And, according to the financial model, you'll need to raise money at least one more time, 12, 18 months out, something like that. So why don't you plan ahead, make sure we don't have any more dilutive financings. And I like what I heard from him. So I invited him to speak to our Zoom community. He gave me a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to ultimately reach profitability without any more dilutive financing. So let's hear what he has to say in our Zoom community, hopefully next week. And they had news this morning. I actually bought more DRIO yesterday for the first time since forever. I mean, I've had a large position, so I just averaged down a little bit yesterday. Last time I bought was probably, who knows, like a year ago or something. Okay. Air, we spoke to the CEO yesterday in our VIP Zoom. Hey, I liked what I heard for the long term. I don't think there's any near-term catalysts coming out of that. But I think this is probably a solid company that, and a lot of the short to intermediate price action will depend on the macroeconomy and the indices. But as far as individual stock per individual company performance at Air, I got a lot of confidence that this is going to be a good investment 1, 2, 3 years out. But as far as timing it with the markets, I don't know. Make your own decisions there. So if you were a VIP and you heard that, that's awesome. All right. That was not recorded. It's not going on YouTube. Sorry, guys. Okay. GLD still above the 20 DMA, still bullish. I have to hold this as a hedge because of inflation. Okay. Period. End of story. So even whatever happens with that chart, I'm holding some gold. For now, the chart looks great. So it's pretty much uranium DNN over critical 180 level. This was a level I pointed out the other day, and now pre-market usually doesn't hold with this stock. But did this ever close over 180 yet? Nope. It's a key level. Okay, yeah, this is a real key level. If this closes over 180, and who knows, maybe today's the day. I mentioned this before a few days ago. I think this can do a quick spike to 195 to $2 range. So watch DNN. I own it. SV we talked about the other week, and it looks like a bunch of traders picked up on it. This is a SPAC in the nuclear energy space. Very interesting what they do, and lots of catalysts. Big core multi-billion-dollar company invested in the pipe, and there was another person invested in another entity in the pipe. Very interesting company. I don't currently hold a position. I did like a quick trade on it. I forgot exactly when I bought or how it worked out, but I made decent money along with you guys who are following me. It was probably like 10.25 to 10.90, something like that. I took it for. So all right, that's the story with SV. BCRX, a great rebound after that news of the trial being paused, but they got Orladeo, as we know, which is worth a lot more than 12.50 in my opinion and the opinion of others. And I think that's all I have. Man, VTSI really disappointing me. I'm not going to sell it down here, though. Not going to sell it. Sorry. I'm losing a lot of money, but it's too cheap. Even with the bad news that recently came, it'll be resolved, hopefully. And let's just check the news one last time with everyone together over here. See if there's anything going. Microsoft, Tesla, BRDS. Bird to exclusively provide shared e-scooter service in Indiana, California, Indio. All right. Oh, Dolphin, I forgot to talk about. Birds is interesting, man. I just think they may have a profitability issue, but they've had some business momentum recently. Dolphin is one that Randy in our community has been talking about. The headlines were wrong, apparently. So actually, let's pull it up here. You can see the stock is up 16%. Last night, it was down sharply because in the news feed, it said, see this? Q4 sales miss, and then Benzinga put out trading lower after worse than expected Q4 sales results. But Randy is telling me that was not accurate and it was actually a beat, and that may explain why the stock is up this morning. Hopefully, we'll get him or someone else at some point to present DLPN to our community. Let's see what else was in the news feed here. Sorry for that interruption. I got to figure out what's going on with my router. I had to get a special router in the office just to connect my phone to the PC, and that router does not seem to be doing a good job with our internet connection. I'm going to have to get a new one. So I apologize for those interruptions. So that's about all we got. Let me just check one more watch list here. This is my new Russia watch list, but before the Russia watch list, I had a top secret watch list. All right, let's see if we have anything else in here. And Adam shares are trading higher after the company announced the success of its joint development agreement. Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's interesting. That at the and QUIK. Here's another one. Adds global families process. All right, I'm gonna write these down because these both I have an interest in both of these names. QUIK and Atom, both in the semiconductor space, both with seemingly good news. We'll look at the charts in a second. Identiv stock price target cut to 23 from 31. Thankfully, I after holding this for years, I did sell all of it in November when I was worried about the growth sell off because it seemed overvalued. But this is a great company, one worth watching, and one I may be getting back into. So, all right, let me look at QUIK and Atom. Both of those seem pretty significant. Let's see, Atomera, wow, up 11%. You can see the chart there. 20 DMA, you could have resistance at 1250 or so today. This may be worth your time, guys. Take a look at Atomera news, and we have videos on it. That was a Dan Carlson pick. And then QUIK, not enough liquidity to really respond in pre-market, and adds global payments enterprises growing list of IB generated. So I don't know how impactful this news is. It looks like the Atom news may be more important. So that's what we got for you guys today. Have a great day. Oh man, Twitter 48.33. That's not what I want to see. I want to see this thing open closer to $50 so I can sell it or sell covered calls on it. Have a great. Oh, listen, markets closed tomorrow. Keep in mind, if you have any options expiring this week, you got to close them out today. And we're also doing the holiday and the holiday weekend. We're not going to have our Sunday night show. So happy holidays to everyone, whether it's Easter or Passover. And we'll see you guys next week.